Alright, welcome back everyone to yet another video in the RPG combat series. So in between videos I have been experimenting a bit. We're gonna keep trying to make the AI a little bit more interesting. I've been trying to find like free models that look good that we can use. There are a couple of options. Also, my sound should be louder now again, so I got a few comments about that. Usually when I record, I try to record like 3 or 4 videos so that I have a few, so I can just keep uploading just in case I don't like have time or have a lot of work or something. So then I have a few spare videos so I can keep it like fairly spread out instead of uploading like 4 at once. I do like 1 or 2 a week or something. Anyway, so there are a couple of options with enemies. The first one is obviously Mixamo. We can go into Mixamo and get some free models. This one looks pretty cool for an enemy. I'm not going to do that because I don't like the Mixamo characters in general. There are plenty of YouTube videos on like how to import the how to retarget these characters to the epic skeleton, which you can obviously do. You don't have to retarget it to epic skeleton either. You could actually just download it with attack animations. So obviously now I have this character selected. What we did previously was I showed you how to get animations from Mixamo. So this one is not gonna have the same skeleton as the Unreal Mannequin. It's gonna have a different skeleton, but you can obviously just go to attacks, and then you can like download, because now we have this character instead of the character in the Unreal skeleton character. So you can obviously just download this character and download and assign animations to him like this. This is an attack animation, and now if I download this one, it's gonna have this skeleton, so that's gonna be fine as well. Or you can just use the Unreal skeleton. We also have in the marketplace, we have the Paragon minions. You can use these ones. They all look pretty cool. These are probably the ones that look the best, like in terms of polygons and things like that, and textures and things. And then we have the Infinity Blades. Then we have these ones, Infinity Blades Adversaries. I'm gonna go ahead and use these ones, I think. Keep in mind they are very low poly. They are made for Infinity Blades, which is originally a mobile game from like way back, so it's not the best models like in terms of polygons. You can kind of see it. The textures aren't great either. Anyway, I'm gonna use them because they're easy to use. I also noticed what I tried to do was in let's see, marketplace collection, you also have these now, City of Brass enemies. I already added these ones to the project and I wanted to use these, but to be honest, you can retarget them to the epic skeleton, but it was too much work and it didn't look good basically. And I did a video on that, but I'm not gonna upload it because it's fucking shit. But I did a video on that, and it's just too much work to make it look good. And I ended up just keeping their skeleton, and in that case I have to use their animations, and they aren't the best animations in my opinion. Like, it doesn't look super good. Not that the Infinity Blades animations are gonna be much better, but I think it's gonna look a little bit better. So let's just use the Infinity Blades Adversaries for now. So here is our project. Also, since I actually tried to record the other video, I might have done some slight changes. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I restored everything back to defaults, but as they were in the last tutorial. But I think the last one I did was the health bar system. Yeah. So what we have now is basically what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna swap up this. This is gonna be the master, but we want instead of the master one, because this is the mannequin, instead of the master one, we're gonna be using maybe I should upload that video anyway, because I think I did a few things. So basically what I did in the last video as well is I changed, I'm not sure, sorry this is confusing, but I also switched up my control scheme, so it's more of a classic like RPG setting. So I sprint with shift, jump with middle mouse button, and dodge roll with left alt. The setup for that is very easy. So here you can see my setup that I'm using for this. So I just basically, the spacebar logic that we have before, you're feel free to keep using it. It's fine. It's a good setup. It's more like a Dark Souls system. But these attack animations that I have here are so responsive, so I thought like they're so responsive, so I just wanted to, I'm just gonna make it a more fast combat system. So the setup I have now is spacebar. If I can't take action, I'll just do the jump, and from left shift, if I can't take action, I'm just gonna do the sprint, and released, I'm gonna go back to run speed, and left alt, if I can't take action, I'm just gonna do the dodge roll, ignore the root motion, and set the timer function. Easy. So all of that logic was, I just kept those things from, so you should already have these parts in the old spacebar logic. So if you want to set this up, just copy paste it out in these parts. Let me know in the comments if it's too confusing and I'll clarify. I also removed the sprint requirement for the stop transition. So now I do it when I just run normally as well. So that's how it looks for now. I think those are the only changes. Might be on something else, I don't know. We will notice. Let me know in the comments in that case, and I'll clarify. So let's get into it. Already 7 minutes in and 8 minutes in, and I haven't done anything. So let's start by, if we go to our master AI, here you can see the old one that I tried to experiment with, but didn't turn out that well, so fuck that one. In this one, master AI, we're just gonna create a new, so right click on it and create a child blueprint class. And so basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the logic in our master AI, but the children are gonna have the animations and the logic for like this specific AI. So we're gonna try to set it up modularly, so we will have all the options and everything in the master AI, but the children will be like different instances of the master AI, so that we can have plenty of different AI easily set up. So this is gonna be called let's do grunt enemy, basic enemy. I'm just gonna call it basic enemy for now. You can call it whatever you want to. I'm just gonna do a new folder, basic enemy, and we're gonna drag the basic enemy in there. Perfect. And the basic enemy, let's move him out in the world. So the basic enemy, we are gonna be using the Infinite Blades adversaries, as I said before. So if we go into this, we have this gruntling. This is perfect for a basic enemy, I think. It's a super basic enemy, so let's just use that one. He's very tiny, so there might be one thing. We might increase his size a little bit. We can obviously do like blend spaces, so that if we, or aim offsets, so that if I do like an attack like this, it's going to be a little bit more downward, so it's easier to hit small targets. Maybe we'll do that later, we will see. But for now, I'm gonna use this, but I'll increase his size a little bit. So open the enemy, and for the mesh, instead of the mannequin on this instance, we're gonna be using the Exodus gruntling. Bam, there we go. And you can see that he goes into a T-pose right now. So he's not doing any animations. And that's because he's using a different skeleton, as I said before. So this skeleton doesn't work with the master AI animation. So even if I assign the master AI animation blueprints, nothing is gonna happen, because the master AI animation blueprint is using the Unreal Epic skeleton. And this one is a different skeleton. This is this Exodus gruntling skeleton. So basically what we want to do is, if you go to the master animation blueprint, we want to copy this one. We want to go to our enemy. Where is he? Prefabs, AI characters, basic enemy, and we're gonna paste him in there. And we're gonna rename it to basic enemy animation blueprint. So this is the blueprint that this one is gonna be using. And we need to change a little bit. Actually, do we? Because it's still master AI, so that should be fine, to be honest. And yeah, so basically we need to we probably shouldn't copy it, just do another one, because we're gonna change the animations. So animation, and we have an animation blueprint. I'm just gonna rename it to, just so I can use the name, animation blueprint. And now we need to use this SK Exodus gruntling skeleton for this animation blueprint. My freaking camera is, maybe I should stop using the camera, but as you can see here, the SK Exodus gruntling skeleton. So that's the one we're gonna be using. So SK Exodus gruntling skeleton. There we go. And now we can name it basic enemy animation blueprint. Perfect. So, but what we can do is we can just copy everything from here. And the animation graph as well. Copy everything. And here's the different parts that we're gonna change. So delete the jumping stuff, because we're not gonna use that for this AI. And it's still not gonna work because this animation is isn't because this is the idle run state. Yeah. So now these basic enemy, even if I go here and do the basic enemy animation blueprint, he's still not gonna be doing the animation, because the animation that we have in the basic enemy blueprint is still this lens based from the character, from the epic skeleton. Why is this skeleton shown here? Did I? Sorry, this one. There we go. I have 2 of them. So yeah, delete this one. So it's this one. Here we can see. And now you can see that there's a lot of variables that we're not using. So right click on all of them and create the variables. Maybe a lot of these we might not even use, but let's keep them for now. It's from the player still, and we're still gonna use the same kind of logic here, but let's just not for now, just to keep it simple. And delete all of these so that we don't use the, so there, all the errors are gone. Lots of the errors were because we had the jumping animations from the epic skeleton. So in here in the idle run, we will do a, there are some ways we could do this. We have the basic enemy. I'm just gonna delete this one. Why is this one referencing? We're just gonna force delete it for now. Let's see if anything happened. No. Okay, perfect. So now we need a blend space for the AI as well. And if we go into our, sorry, this is the player. I'm just gonna close some windows. The master AI, let's see. He's using this blend space. He's still using this player unarmed, so we're just gonna copy this one and go to our AI and basic enemy, and we're gonna do DS for blend space, basic enemy. And this is just a, yeah, it's gonna work for now, I think. Yeah, let's use this one for now. We're probably gonna change this later, but yeah, we don't even need the leaning for this one. We just want the animations for this skeleton. So in the map for the gruntling, where we have the gruntling skeleton, we're just gonna do the gruntling animations, and maybe we have an idle animation. It's not really a good idle animation. I think they are all actually using the same skeleton, so I'm just gonna see. Master, we have an idle. It's just gonna compile some shaders. I think they are all using the same skeleton. It looks like that. This has a furnace. I'm gonna copy it. So I'm just gonna copy this idle animation and gruntling. I'm just gonna see if we can do like this. I should have duplicated it. So I'm just gonna see if this works. Okay, that didn't really work. I think it's because give me 1 second here. Yeah, we'll just do a workaround. It's annoying because, yeah, actually you shouldn't have. The problem here is that I insist on using like free stuff, and it's just so limited on what you can actually get. It would be a lot easier to just, if I bought a model from the store, usually you get animations for that model as well, and then you will just have all the animations that you need, like idle and things like that, without having to bother with retargeting from another free asset and going around like that. It's just annoying to do it. But I'm gonna stick to only using free assets. It's gonna look like shit, but it's gonna be free. Obviously, when you do it, you should be using, like, if you're actually planning on doing an entire game, you should probably actually buy some freaking animations. That's what I do for my main project. My main project looks like 1,000 times better than this, but the general setup is the same, but good quality animations just make a huge difference. So yeah, so we're just gonna do a workaround for now. So we have the gruntling animations. I'm just gonna use this. We have an idle. It says idle react. I'm gonna use this for an idle. I'm gonna modify it slightly to make it look a little bit better. So we're just gonna do these. Do we have a, oh, not pelvis. Do we have a spine 01? So we're just gonna target the spine 01. We're gonna stretch him up, and his idle is basically just gonna be him sitting there praying. There he is praying. So this is now his idol, the praying gruntling. It's originally a stunned animation, I can see. So we're gonna drag this one into the basic enemy. Yeah, because I copied it. I'm doing many errors now, I can see. So BS basic enemy animation blueprint. The blend space can't be copied as I did, because it's a blend space to the original skeleton. So once again, animation, blend space, grunt, and we're gonna need to use the gruntling skeleton. So BS grunt, let's just call him gruntling instead of basic enemy. Because that's apparently what it is. Gruntling animation blueprint. So, and delete this. Actually, don't delete it yet. Before you delete it, just go and just copy this stuff. Rotation, speed, minus 50, 50. Minus 50. Actually, we're gonna change this later anyway. We're probably gonna, we might as well change it now. So we're gonna do minus 180, and we're gonna do 180, and the speed is gonna be a maximum value of maybe 500 or 400 because it's an AI, and minimum value of minus 150. or minus 200. So I will explain this later. This is just a setup for the future. We're not really gonna. I'm gonna explain this later. But basically, the 180. Yeah, the speed, and we have the rotation. So basically, let's do 8 there actually. So basically, the rotation is gonna be. Maybe we should do 6 there as well. Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. So basically, the rotation is going to be the strafing movement. So it's going to be on this axis, and the speed is going to be, the reason we're going to minus 200 and maximum 400 is because he's going to run forward. He's going to be able to run forward, he's going to be able to walk forward, but he's also going to be able to walk backwards, but he's not going to be able to run backwards when he's doing the strafing movements. So that's why we only have minus 200 and not minus 400. So let's do that for now. And we're gonna use and now we can disable this one, delete the old one. And now we should be able to use the animations. So the idle one that I just used in the biggest gruntling, you can see that now we can drag it in. And let's see if it's the idle is now at the rotation 0 and the speed 0, as you can see there. So that's perfect. And we also want a, do we have a walk? Do we have a run? Okay, yeah. So we have a gruntling run, so that's perfect. So let's drag in the run. Is it a, okay, it's a root motion, I think. So just go into it and force root lock so that he doesn't move around too much. And one thing that annoys me, I'm not sure, maybe there's a setting, but I opened an animation now, and then the animation or the blend space gets closed. That always annoys me because I usually have them on different places. And then we have a walk forward, and the walk forward will be at 200. So if we play this now, yeah, you can see it's using root motion, so but this is fine. So we're gonna force root lock the walk as well. There we go. And now we're once again gonna go back to the I'm just gonna take this entire folder and I'm gonna move it into my basic enemy. There we go. Perfect. And now we have this blend space, so let's move it in here. And the variables is rotation and speed. Yeah, I know he looks a bit weird. Actually, yeah. Free animations, don't complain. And there we have them, sitting there and praying. They look like shit, but it's free. So before, we're also gonna go into the gruntling enemy, and we're gonna change his scale a little bit. As I said before, we're gonna make him a bit larger, maybe move him up a bit. And there we go. We have a basic enemy. And we are at 29 minutes. and we can hit him despite him being low, very small. So yeah, perfect. We have our idling enemy, and let's just see what happens. We have this event roaming from previously, so we're gonna connect that up as well. Just see what happens. And you can see he's now roaming and running around with his running animation. Something I'm not sure if he's supposed, if that's the animation, if he's like, because I didn't change anything with the animation, so perhaps that's just the way the animation looks. And his hand is freaking weird. So yeah, as I said, free animations, so don't complain. I might change this between videos because I think it looks so freaking ugly, so I'll probably use another one of them. Anyway, yeah, see you in the next video. In the next video we will probably, I'm not sure, maybe set up the strafing movements or something like that on the enemy, or maybe attacking the player, we'll see. Thanks for this video, and let me know in the comments as usual if there's any questions, and peace out for now.